Well, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for being here. It was great to meet a lot of you last night as well. Some of you had a better time than others, shall we say. But yeah, really appreciate you all being here at this really amazing, fantastic venue. So I hope you have a very good time. And I'm just going to set the stage a little bit, talking about what we're looking to do at Sonic, what our achievements are, and a few announcements as well. So first of all, I think it's really important to note about Sonic is that we have a real mainnet platform, right? And the numbers that you can see on the screen here are verified by third parties that are based on real on-chain data. It's not something that's theoretical. It's not something that's based on a testnet or anything like that, unlike some other chains. It's based on real numbers on the mainnet. And what I really love about numbers like this is that it's based on the mainnet data, and people didn't really notice when we got these sorts of numbers as well at different points in time. You look at these block numbers, you can see that there's hundreds of blocks there's hundreds of transactions in these blocks, and they just get confirmed within half of a second. And I didn't even know that this was happening until someone else pointed it out to me. And I think a lot of people in the community didn't know that this was happening until it was pointed out to them. And I think that's a really great sign about the scalability of the network, is that when people can keep executing transactions, within a fraction of a second, they go into the DAF and everything just works really, really fast, whether there's a lot of transactions or there's few transactions, that's how the network should be. And you compare it to other networks that have pending transaction counts. You can see that it spikes up a few hundred, maybe 1,000 or whatever. And you can see on Chain as well, it's usually a couple hundred or so, and sometimes it spikes up to 1,000. But then you look at Sonic, and it's just completely blank. There's no pending transactions. And this is from the beginning of the chain to where we are now. And so I love this chart because it's my favorite blank chart in all of crypto. There's literally nothing happening on this chart. And that's how it should be. That no one's waiting, people are just executing. That's what you need for a chain, and I think we've come a long way in achieving this with the new Sonic technology. And we also have integrations now coming with the USDD Circle stablecoin, and you can see here that being able to deposit and withdrawals into exchanges such as Binance here, is all done in a fraction of a second. And you don't just have to believe my word for it. You can just test it out yourself. Like this user has done, depositing and withdrawing from Binance, and it just happens in a fraction of a second. In a single block, it's confirmed. Blocks get confirmed in a fraction of a second right now, and it's just a great user experience. No matter if the network is very popular or there's not many transactions happening at that point in time. And in the end, I don't know why I screwed like that, sorry. In the end, it's all about the user experience, right? And I remember there was this one random guy at ETH Denver who I was speaking to after I spoke, and he was like, I really love Sonic because it's instant dopamine. I can just go in there and I can just keep executing transactions, doing my DeFi stuff and making money and all that, and it just works really, really fast and it's low cost. And that's what everything is geared towards. That's what everything is geared towards. It's all about the user experience in the end. Whether it's the technology, on the business development side, it's all just about making it as easy as possible for users to use the network. And you can see here that we've achieved a lot of success. And one way of measuring that is by the fee generation. So this screenshot or graph was taken a few days ago, and already we had almost $500,000 in fees generated for the network. And I think that's very remarkable. You can see here that there's a lot of different DeFi protocols, and Shadow's leading the way at the moment. But I think others can catch up, but we'll see. And in particular, the Shadow DEX is an amazing DEX because it's a DEX that only exists on Sonic, and yet I believe it's the 6th or the 7th highest fee generating DEX in the entire world when you compare it to any other network that's live at the moment. And you can see with fee monetization, where dApps get paid to generate transactions on the network. You can see that we already have in the space of a few months, almost $1 million generated, which is about $500,000 at today's prices. And this screenshot as well was taken a few days ago, and it's probably a lot higher than that. It might even be approaching 1 million right now. And it's very easy to sign up as well. As we put out videos with Seg, our dev relations, you can do it in 60 seconds. You just follow his guide, you just fill out a form, and there, you're done. So we're making it even easier for developers to onboard onto Sonic. And in the end, with Sonic, it's all about, when you're growing a chain, it's all about answering this fundamental question, which is, why would a developer or a user choose your network over another network? And so everything we do, whether it's on the technology side, on the business development side, on the marketing side, is all geared towards answering that one question and answering as best as we can. There's a few dev features that I want to highlight, though, that are really coming down the line. So you guys are already aware of this. There's 3 main developer features that we're launching very, very soon. So the first one is gas subsidies, allowing you to subsidize your users' costs. Native account abstraction, so people can submit transactions in the background and delegate who they submit transactions to. And dynamic fees, which allows developers in their own smart contracts to set their own transaction fees rather than being a minimum network transaction fee overall. And all of these 3 attributes for developer features, they're all based upon improving the user experience and making money for developers, because you always just have to think about what's in the interest of developers and users. For developers, it's growing their user base, it's building a business, it's about making money. And for the users, it's also about making money and having a good time on the chain. And for that, they need to have a great user experience. And if you want to onboard a lot of users down the line, you need to minimize the difficulty of getting users on the platform. So all 3 of them right now are developed and undergoing testing. The features are going to be added after Eve Pectra upgrade, which I believe has just gone live. And so we're going to be integrating with Eve Pectra to maintain smart contract compatibility. The team will provide guides and examples for implementation as well coming down the line. So just like we provided guides and examples for onboarding on fee monetization, we're going to do the same thing as well for the other 3 features that I just mentioned. And ultimately, what we care about is, what do users and developers want, as I mentioned. So if you're a developer and you want a particular feature or a particular infrastructure partner or third-party provider to be deployed on Sonic that's not yet deployed on Sonic, just let us know. Just tell us what the problems are that you're looking to solve. Just tell us what you want, and we'll try and get it for you. So our approach really when it comes to business development for helping developers is just listening to them. So, if developers want something or if users want something, we'll get it for them. So, for example, like Trust Wallet, who, are a sponsor of this event that I'll be speaking with later this afternoon, a lot of people were asking us repeatedly, when is Trust Wallet going to integrate? We want to use Trust Wallet. My wallet is Trust Wallet. We really like them. They're an amazing application. Please get them on board. And so we worked hard, getting Trust Wallet on board, and I'm really happy that, they're here today and they're a sponsor, and we really appreciate that. So in the end, it's just about giving what developers and users want. And just another thing I want to mention is just we have a new consensus engine coming down the line. The testnet mainnet data, we're already testing on mainnet data, and we've already been able to demonstrate, as we released in the blog post recently, a 68% reduction in memory or usage of RAM. And why is that important? Because it means that when you're running your hardware as a validator, an RPC provider, or any infrastructure provider, you can run lower cost hardware with the same performance, or maintain the same hardware and get even better performance. So it's just a lot more efficient. We also have basically increased the speed of our consensus dramatically as well. And as Bernard and his team will go into later today and tomorrow, it's going to be mathematically proven, and it's our second scheduled major release for 2025. So I'm very confident that our consensus engine will be coming out this year. It's already largely developed. It's now just in its testing phase, and it's in improving phase as well. Now, a few announcements I wanted to make that I'm just going to run through now. First of all, we've completed a $10 million raise with Galaxy Digital. And they're going to help us expand more into the US, open doors for us, expand more in Asia, etc. So there's a lot more information coming out about this raise with Galaxy, but I'm very excited to have them on board and very excited that they're a gold sponsor as well. And one person, thank you. And an individual from Galaxy Digital literally booked his flight and accommodation at the last moment, like 2 days ago. So I don't know if he's in the crowd here right now, but someone from Galaxy Digital will be here or is already here. Second thing is that the native USDC upgrade has already commenced. So we put out an announcement yesterday that the bridge will be paused for a few days while we commence the upgrade. But I can announce that the estimated time of completion is about a week. So after a week, and this is very important, all of the bridge USDC that you have on the network right now, which is about 500 million, as a developer or user, you don't need to do anything. Just sit back, and all of that bridge USDC will be converted to native. And integrations with exchanges like Binance will all happen automatically. And so I think this is a great benefit for developers because some developers that I talked to in Dubai still didn't realize that we're not going to have two versions of USDC, unlike on some other networks where people have to manually convert it. We just have the bridge USDC right now, which is over $500 million in issuance, and all of that will be converted automatically to the native USDC. And so Circle have been really great to work with as well. They've run us through the guide on how to do that, and they're working with us very, very carefully over the next few days, and they have in the past as well. Another announcement I wanted to make is that native USDC is coming to the Re.Pay main app. So as some of you guys are aware, again, another sponsor of ours, which I really appreciate, is that the Re.Pay app, which is from Hong Kong, is getting really, really popular. They raised over $40 million US dollars from a whole bunch of different ventures that some of you, know about, including Circle Ventures, the payment provider with Circle as well. And we're integrating with their main application now, rather than just a separate card. And so we'll be having USDC deposits ready there. We're going to have S deposits coming soon as well, and a few other features as well that are going to be great for people that want to pay using USDC on the Sonic network, which again is very fast. You'll be able to deposit just like on Binance, and then the transaction will be confirmed very quickly within like a fraction of the second, depositing and withdrawal. More centralized exchanges are listing native USDC as well. There's a whole list. I can't name any of the names right now, but I'm sure you're very familiar with a lot of those names. And also, I'm happy to announce that the Ledger application is coming for Sonic as well. So we're going to have our own application on the Ledger app, just like Solana and other chains have. And so people will be able to use the Sonic app directly now on the Ledger network. And finally, I also want to announce that the .sonic top-level domains through unstoppable domains is also going to be integrated into Etherscan as well. There's going to be a few more announcements coming out a bit later from other people on the team throughout the day. So stick around. And again, thank you everyone for coming this morning. Really love how the crowd is quite packed. And I will be speaking with you guys, today, tomorrow, and many other times, I assume, in the future. So again, thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael.